Hello, and welcome to Johns Hopkins Anesthesiology Residency Program. I'm Jed Wolpaw, I'm the program director, and it's a pleasure to meet you, virtually though it may be, and we are very much looking forward to seeing your application should you choose to apply. You'll find a lot of information on our website. It covers all kinds of things about our program, what the curriculum looks like, the case exposure, details on how to apply, what the call looks like, and all of that. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time right now going over that. What I want to give you a feel for in just a few minutes here, and certainly if you do come interview at our program, we'll speak a lot more. But what I want to try to give you a feel for is how I think we are truly unique in our program. Now, there's some ways in which I would say we're relatively unique, by which I mean we're part of a small group of institutions that share the ability to provide you with some really special things. The caseload, the exposure, for example, to some of the most sick patients having the most complex procedures that you'll find anywhere in the country. There's only a small group of institutions that provide that, and we are one of them. Another example would be the research exposure. You won't find anywhere else with the breadth and depth and funding for research that we have here, but I won't tell you that no one else has a similar exposure. You'll get that at a small group of institutions, of which we are one. So how are we truly unique? I would say the thing that makes us stick out the most is how focused we are on wellness in addition to learning anesthesiology. We know we can provide you with top-notch training, but we don't just want you to be a well-trained anesthesiologist. We want you to be a well person as well. And that is what we've done a lot of work on. I do research on this, I speak nationally about it, and we have put a lot of focus on it in our program. We do that in a variety of ways, evidence-based ways. Of course, there's fun things like free food and nights out at the bar. At least before COVID there was. Now it's a grab and go night where we provide you food to come and get. But all of that is fun and we do it, but that actually doesn't have a big impact on wellness. What really matters when you're doing something hard, and don't get me wrong, residency is hard. It's hard here, it's going to be hard wherever you go. We do a lot to try to make it a little less stressful, but it's still hard. And when you are doing something hard, what matters is whether you feel supported by your supervisors, by your program when you're doing that thing that's hard. And so we have really led the pack on supporting our residents in many ways and making sure that if you have concerns while you're here, those concerns are heard and you know they're heard and you know they're responded to. And I'll give you an example. I have an always open anonymous survey. My residents know they can put a concern or question or comment in there anytime. And once a month, I send an email out to the whole residency and I say, here's what's come in over the course of the month, and here's what we're doing about it. So if you submit a concern, you know it's been heard and you know it's being responded to because you'll see that email and it'll tell you exactly what we heard and what we're doing about it. We also have meetings where I meet with small groups of residents and allow them to write down anonymous concerns. Now with COVID, we do it via Zoom and they put anonymous concerns into an anonymous link. I read them out loud right there in real time and respond. So you know you can hear that your program director's response right away. We also have multiple layers of support networks, both peer-to-peer and faculty and assistant program director and program director to resident, so that you have lots of people looking out for you in lots of different ways. So we know that that's the stuff that's really important. And then the second thing that makes such a huge difference in wellness is when you're an adult, you need to be treated like an adult. And we have built our structure of learning around recognizing that our learners are adults. For example, we have 2 complete protected days for your education and well-being every month. Nobody else has as much protected time. That means those entire days, from the beginning of the day through the end, you are not clinical. You can have the entire day for great didactics, lectures, journal clubs, simulation. We do more sim than anyone else because we have the time for it. So you get that, plus you get protected time for your well-being during those days. And because we appreciate you as an adult, we let you shape that. If you decide that what's best for your well-being during that time is to go to the gym, you can do that. If you need to take a nap or you want to spend some time with friends, we let you make those decisions because we respect you as an adult learner. We also know that as an adult you have a life. You may have a spouse or kids or family members who sometimes need your attention. And we do not expect you to put all of that on hold while you spend 3 years of residency training with us. We know that there are times where you need some time to focus on that stuff. And if you need a day off, if you need some support for that, we make that happen because we know that life doesn't stop just because you become a resident. So we really focus on this. As I said, I'm happy to talk more about it when we meet virtually, when you come interview. But I think if you're wondering what is unique about Hopkins, it's our real focus on that. Other programs are going to tell you they have well-being programs and well-being curriculum, but nobody else puts as much time and dedication into making it a reality. And I think if you talk to my residents, they will back that up and tell you that that's the truth. I also want to say that Baltimore, while you may think Baltimore might be a downside of the Johns Hopkins program, I'll tell you, Baltimore is a wonderful place to live. My wife and I moved from San Francisco when we came here to Baltimore about 7 years ago, and we weren't sure what we were going to find. We had seen The Wire. We thought that was probably what we were getting into, but we ended up falling in love with it. Baltimore is one of the reasons we decided to stay. We didn't stay in spite of it. We really stayed because of both the wonderful program at Hopkins and because of how much we've fallen in love with Baltimore. It's a wonderful city, and I highly encourage you to ask around with my residents or anyone else who lives here, and I think they'll tell you the same thing. So as you go looking at programs, the thing I encourage you the most is talk to the residents. Ask the residents if what you're hearing from the program director is actually their experience, because they're the ones living it. And I am fully confident that when you talk to my residents, any of my residents, they will tell you that they are glad to be in this program. They feel incredibly supported in this program. They work hard, but they feel supported as they do it. And I think you'll find that this is a wonderful family to be a part of. We really look forward to reading your application and hopefully seeing you soon. Thank you so much for your interest, and have a wonderful application season.